So as I'm drinking my coffee this morning, I just realized that I never actually told you the story about what happened with my job. So I'll tell it to you now. Do you remember the end of my video? Yeah, you can just call me right back at this number later today. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to it. Well, that call never came. So I definitely went from being super happy to like, but I had a feeling that might happen because it had kind of been a game of delays. After that, I waited until the next day and I called him back. And I got him on the phone. Things seemed to be going well again, still. And then he told me, call me back tomorrow. Okay, fine. And I was feeling frustrated, but that was the day when it finally clicked where I was like, wait, this is a sales job. This is a position where I'm gonna have to do exactly this. Call people, follow up with people, and most importantly, close the deal. So that's when I figured out like, oh, he wants me to treat it like a sales job, I guess. Like he wants me to really close the deal. So I came up with a plan. I was like, well, how am I gonna close the deal? So I figured out like, what do I need to do? Do I need to get somebody else's contacts? Like what are the next steps? And then I'm gonna suggest we take them. So the next day, I worked everything up. I reviewed my plan, got ready, dialed his number. Rang, and it rang, and it rang, and it went to voicemail. And I was like, of course it went to voicemail. So luckily I was prepared, kind of left a voicemail because I'd even thought about that and had it planned out. But then he called me right back. Got him on the phone. I told him, like, hey, seems like the next steps would be doing some paperwork. Who's in charge of that? How can we make that up? Can we do it tomorrow? We were thinking you start on Tuesday. But yeah, you can come in tomorrow and do paperwork. And I was like, cool. So, just like that, I closed the deal. Then the next day, I go in there. He told me to show up at 10 o'clock, so I showed up at 10 o'clock. And he's not in the office. The only guy in there is like the support guy, who's actually really cool. Seems like he's around my age, kind of interested in similar stuff. He's a good guy. I'm like, is this another test? Probably not. He probably just is running late, but if it is a test, you bet I'm gonna pass it. So, since I was there, I started talking to that guy, asking him, what can you tell me about our technology? What can you teach me about our products? What kind of problems do you run into on the support team? What do you see, right? Just picking his brain for like the next 30 minutes until the owner eventually shows up. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, have you been sitting here the whole time? I'm like, yeah, I have, but it's no biggie because I've been doing this. And so then I end up filling out the paperwork, but I was there for like a whole day. So I also turned it from, a 1 hour meeting into like a full day of making money. And then ever since then, I've just been in full sponge mode, just soaking it up, learning as much as I can about the technology, learning how everything works, learning how I'm gonna sell it. I've been there a couple days now, but it's tricky. Yesterday was my first day where I worked in the office in the morning, and then after lunch I went into my other job and worked that. And whew, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of hours to be gone at work. So today I'm doing it 2 days in a row. Not sure how much I want to do this, to be honest. I know I got to do whatever it takes, but I mean, holy cow. And then I also want to make YouTube on top of that. So anyway, that's the job. That's the story about how I got my most recent job. Now I'm working 2 jobs, and I'm still trying to make videos, and that's what I'm doing.